Hello and welcome back to the Healing Embodied podcast. You have your two hosts with you today. I'm Chelsea Horton, and this is,
Sarah, hello everybody.
and today we are doing the next question on our Q&A series for therapists and mental health professionals who want to expand their career, deepen their skill set, and have the most thriving, juicy, purpose-led career path. So, without further ado, here is the question that we're covering today.
So, question for today is what else can I do with my skill set as a therapist other than just traditional clinical therapy that will decrease my burnout but not sacrifice my income?
Ooh, we've been asked that question a lot. And, so many people when they go into grad school to be a therapist, they go in with so much purpose, with so much passion, and they're like, oh my gosh, like I just want to help people. I can't wait to learn this. I can't wait to be out in the field doing this work. And then they get out into the field in the system, and we're talking about the United States healthcare system, and you're overworked. You're underpaid, you're burnt out, you have to see an insane amount of clients in order to make ends meet. And therapists, the burnout rate is just getting worse and worse. And so therapists are starting to ask, okay, what else can I do with this skill set? What else can I do with this passion? Like I want to help people, but I'm no help to anyone if I am burnt out, crying before I go into work, exhausted at the end of the day, stressing about my bills. What else can I do?
Yeah,
And
and
yeah, go ahead.
sorry, I was going to say I'm simultaneously heartbroken at the number of people that are asking this question and also really glad that people are asking this question because when I was at peak burnout 4 or 5 years ago, and I was reaching my moment of like, I cannot do this anymore. This is not possible. This isn't sustainable. This isn't healthy. I can't work in this way. I can't do this. For a long time, I didn't know that there were other options. The options opened up in front of me, but I thought it was you do this work that you once loved and you are completely depleted and burned out and exhausted, or you do something else. Those are your options. It's one pathway or the other. There is no third option, there is no in between. And so I'm actually glad that people are asking this question. And side note, if you want to know more about why burnout is running so rampant, we wrote an ebook about that. It's $7. It's the shit. It's called
It's the
From
shit.
Overgiving to Overflow. We will have it linked down below if you are starting to wonder, like I once did, can I even do this career anymore? And why do I feel the way I feel? You might want to check that one out.
You definitely want to check that ebook out. It is bussin'. So, people are asking, what else can I do with this skill set? And I also didn't know all the options that were out there until I carved my own path, started this business, and my mind was like my third eye opened to all the possibilities of what you could do with this skill set. Therapists, especially body-based therapists, are so freaking skilled. So many skill sets, so much knowledge that we often downplay because it becomes so normal to us to know what we know and to do what we do. But this is a very difficult job. It takes a lot of presence. It takes a lot of skill. It takes a lot of self-awareness. It takes a lot of you're seeing you're listening to what someone says and you're also listening for patterns and you're also reflecting back emotions and you're also feeling things in your own body while simultaneously being present with their bodies. Like, hello, you are mother friggin' skill badass. And so we want to talk about just some of the options, but know that there are so many other options out there and that you have full permission. You have full permission to go explore that and carve that path for yourself. But what I've been sharing with people who have been asking this question is that, outside of just providing like one-on-one therapy or group therapy. You can, one thing is create educational courses. So, say you work with a particular population and you hear the same challenges over and over, and you find yourself saying the same things over and over, or teaching the same skills, or giving the same psychoeducation over and over and over. And you're like, oh my gosh, like this has become like my phrase, my methodology. Like I'm doing this with every single client. You can take those educational pieces, you can take those skills, and this I'm not talking about trauma processing or more of that like process oriented stuff, but you can take those skills, you can take that knowledge and turn it into an educational course that can either support your clients in their existing practice or help a whole new audience and have an international client base for that course because it is educational in nature versus therapy. And you're very clear about that in your sales page. This is not therapy. This is not a replacement for therapy. This is educational, and being very clear about the purpose of that course. But this then can become passive income. It does not require your direct time every time someone buys that. It's something that you can have as supplemental income. And it's also just a really fun, I really enjoy the course creation process because you can have a lot of creative freedom and a creative reign in how you set it up, the curriculum, how you deliver it. Yeah, Sarah and I have created so many courses. We've made PDF workbooks that go along with it, videos, audios, journaling questions, movement skills. It's you can do so much. And again, Sarah and I have created several pretty in-depth courses. So that's one option.
Yeah, I also love creating courses. We've also done a lot of other digital products like workshops. We've hosted so many virtual workshops on a topic. So maybe there's something that's really interesting to you that you want to educate on, you want to teach more about, but you don't want to make a full course yet. You want to kind of try it out. Maybe you host a one-time workshop that you market and it can be, a low, we call it a low ticket, but like a paid workshop, but it's a one-time thing that people can come to. And if you listen to our last episode in this Q&A series on how do I get clients, I'm struggling to get clients, we talked a lot about relationship building and giving people an idea of what they get when they come to work with you. Low ticket workshops is a really fun way of doing that, is a fantastic way of letting people into your world a little bit more, getting to know them a bit more, building up that lead base in a very low risk environment.
Oh yeah, I remember my first one-time low ticket workshop when I first started healing embodied. And it was I led an experiential practice of like how to make friends with your anxiety. And I provided some education, and I provided like a very specific process that I walked through people through. And, 5 people signed up. So, it was the start of my business. It's not like I was expecting huge numbers. But first of all, it helped me gain my confidence in my skill and in my methodology. And I got to build these relationships with these people. So you can run workshops online, you can run workshops in person in your community. And, say you're working in the mental health system, say you have a private practice and you have like your clinical work and you feel like you don't really want to cross those things at all. You could still take your skill set and create workshops for other therapists, for other professionals. You can take these workshops to corporate America, stress management, leadership, emotional intelligence, relational skills, team building. Like you as a therapist have so many skills. I don't think y'all understand. And what you can do with these skills is endless. And workshops, there's so many possibilities for workshops. You can do a workshop series. You could do one-time workshops, online, in person, multi-day. professional training, or just direct client. I really, really love workshops.
I have a thought about this question, what else can I do with my skill set? But it's not a specific, like, do a course, do a workshop. Do you have more specific things you want to speak to, Chelsea, before I take us on a bit of a tangent?
Take it away.
Okay, cool. We love a tangent here. Something that is coming up for me that was probably the most important question when I was bumping into this burnout barrier, and I was thinking, like, what else can I do? Was actually shifting that question from what else can I do with my skill set into like how else can I do what I'm good at? So instead of what else can I do, how else can I do this? That's what started to open up these new possibilities in front of me of I don't have to do what I'm doing in the exact way that I'm doing it, which for me was for a while working in a 9 to 5 community mental health job where I was going to work every day, seeing clients, writing 72 progress notes, that's not an exaggeration, and driving home and then waking up and doing it the next day, every day, 5 days a week. Or doing traditional private practice where I find clients, they see me for as long as they want to, and then we terminate. Um, was actually starting to ask, like, myself, what is it that I actually love about this work? What lights me up? And how can I work in a way that honors that, that honors my well-being without sacrificing my income? For Chelsea and I specifically, that was pivoting from traditional therapy model into a more coaching model. We now are embodiment coaches, and we have our certification program, so we train other embodiment coaches. So that's what that looked like for us. That might not be what it looks like for you, and it doesn't have to be, but just starting to ask that question of how else can I do this was something that was so important to me because I didn't know that there was another way to do it. And so by allowing myself to ask that question, that's how those other pathways started to open up.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, really feeling into what do I love about this? What in particular feels like it's burning me out? Where is my income capped? Like if your only way of bringing in income is through one-on-one sessions, you only have so many hours in a day. And you only have so many energies, so much energy in that day. And knowing that your energy ebbs and flows, it's not the same every day. So how can you work in a way that also honors your energy and your capacity and that doesn't drain you? And starting with those questions can start to open up your mind to, okay, well, here's what I love. Here's what I need to feel like this is sustainable. What is out there? What else can I do now that I'm more clear on how I need to be using this skill set?
Yeah, and letting all of this, like, thinking and getting curious and daydreaming come from desire, like let yourself dream. Let yourself dream about this. It doesn't have to feel realistic yet. You don't have to know how it's going to happen yet. Like so much of this for me personally was just letting myself dream because I was so burnt out that I was so disconnected from my own creativity that I couldn't even like create in my mind any other reality. And so as I let myself reconnect to creativity and daydreaming and desire and just starting to like think about these thoughts. Like I remember once I was on a run and I daydreamed the whole time about opening a facility with my friend who's a dietitian and we were going to have a joint dance movement therapy and dietitian center and it was going to be great and I was going to work in person and do groups and individual. Now the thought of doing that, I'm like, fuck no, absolutely not. But I remember in that moment, I was like, it felt so fun. It felt so playful to just dream.
Mm.
I pulled this book from my bookshelf while we've been talking. There's a book called Trauma Stewardship by Laura Vandernoot Lipsky. Best name ever. This is actually one of the required readings in our practitioner program. And there is a whole section about it, or whole section in it that's all about daydreaming about your plan B. Even if you are so locked into like, this is what I want to do, letting yourself daydream about like what else could be out there? What else could exist? It opens your brain. It opens your brain and your body up to creativity, to imagination, and you never know what's gonna come from this. You never know. Just the other day, Chelsea, you sent me a voice note that you had a meeting with someone who was inviting us to now create, jump in. I'm gonna botch it. What did
Right? Yes. Yeah, I went to talk, in the last episode, we talked about building relationships being important. I went to a networking event. I built this relationship with this behavioral analyst who works with children and teens on the spectrum. And she loved that, I'm a somatic practitioner and that I train other therapists in somatic work. And she wanted to know how to incorporate, like, she's like, how can we collaborate? And so what we ended up discussing was Sarah and I training her team, collaborating to create a specific somatic based curriculum for a group program for teens with autism and teens on the spectrum and teens who are neurodivergent. So they bring their expertise in what they know, working with this population, and we bring our expertise in somatics, embodiment, creative expression, and experiential practices and to be hired to then help co-create a custom curriculum for an existing center. Like this, when I say the sky is the freaking limit, and once you open up to that, the opportunities, the ideas, like it's insane.
It's a strong plug for creativity. I think, and again, I'm speaking a lot from my own personal experience and what I've witnessed in the people I've worked with and have taught, is that when we're asking this question of what else can I do, it's often coming from a survival mode place. Like, how can I get away from this awful thing I'm feeling right now without losing my income, without like having to give up on the 10 plus years of school and internships and exams I've taken. Like, I've worked so hard for this and I can't work in this way anymore. What do I do? What do I do? And this is where I really want to invite you into creativity and finding communities and programs that support that support your creativity, that support your well-being, that support your happiness, your longevity, the sustainability of your career, that support your bank account and like want you to make money and have create wealth for yourself. Like finding communities and programs and trainings that support that.
Yes, that is so important because there are a lot of professionals and organizations that I'm gonna be I'm gonna be frank. I'm gonna be a little frank here. A little beef frank. They're crusty and outdated, and they gotta stick up their bum bums. And the moment you deviate from what is known, and the moment you think outside the box, and the moment it's like you're a heretic. It's weird. I'm just gonna say it. It's freaking weird. So get connected to a community of other unicorns like you. Unicorn therapists, we need to find other unicorn therapists who d decided to think outside the box and lead their career with creativity and innovation. That's what this field needs. The field needs you to be innovative and creative and thriving and loving what you do and doing something that's never been done before and carving a new path. Like that's what this field needs. It's crusty. It's crusty.
It's so crusty, and so many people are terrified of thinking outside of the box because they believe, AKA they've been fed the narrative, that if they do that, it's going to be unethical. They're going to do something unethical. And if you have that fear, join us for the next episode in this series because we about to blow your mind around that.
Yep. Especially those with anxiety and good girl programming and fearing like being seen as bad. that fear can really grip you and really hold you back from actually pursuing what you want to do in this field. So let this be your big old permission slip to think outside the box, to start dreaming, to start putting your desires and needs first. Um, because I can't tell you like how much I can't believe what has become possible in my career. Like I never thought I would be able to do what I'm doing today. You know, having an accredited somatic certification program, uh, yeah, partnering with other existing organizations to create a custom curriculum, like the courses, the ebooks, like the workshops, everything that we've done. I never thought that that was possible, and so I'm so grateful to past Chelsea who decided, who dared to think outside the box and follow her intuition and just see where it led. And if you want to have more skills that you can use in your career, if you want to learn how to think outside of the box, if you want to really own your creativity as a practitioner, if you want to expand your career and the services that you offer, and you want to be supported by a community of people who celebrate that, then you might want to join the Healing Embodied Practitioner Training Program. This is our year-long accredited. It's accredited through the Complementary Therapist Accreditation Association, international embodiment coaching certification program. We cover things like nervous system awareness, co-regulation, trauma-informed work, parts work, inner child work, creative expression, helping people get out of their heads and into their bodies in a safe and sustainable way, shame processing, like how to start your own business, how to really step into your identity and your unique purpose as a therapist, and how to not lead from martyrdom and codependency and fear, but how to actually trust yourself and become a powerful embodied leader. That's what we do here. And I love it so much. It's brilliant.
It's brilliant. I love it so much. Yeah, if you want to know more about that program, we'll have everything linked down below. I want to invite you to jump on a free career vision call with us. That is a great opportunity to actually sit down face to face across the internet with myself or Chelsea and talk in depth about what you're experiencing and what you're desiring. Have someone actually witness those desires so they're not just living in your head and subject to the shame that's saying it's not possible, it's not possible, to have someone actually hold those desires with you and really determine alongside of you what the next steps are for you. Is this program something that would support you? What is really needed to usher you toward those desires? So we will have that linked down below as well. I hope to see y'all soon.
Thank you all so much for being here, and we'll see you in the next episode.